Alright, so this will hopefully be a short video. Let's say you're struggling with Furnace Golems and you want to know how to kill them easily. This is the guide for you. So, what I like to do, these are weak to lightning specifically. They're very weak to lightning. I think they're also weak to strike damage, but I believe they're weaker to lightning. So what I like to do to them is get dual curved swords with the lightning affinity on them, and I like to do jump attacks because you can get a bunch of buffs for jump attacks and they just hit a bunch of times and do fuckloads of damage. So the kind of build that I like to use for it, you don't even need to respec your stats or anything. Just get any two curved swords. You want to have them upgraded to plus 24 or plus 25 because the DLC is post end game content, so you want your stuff at max level. So you have two curved swords. Doesn't matter what Ash of War you use on them. Give them the lightning affinity. As long as it has the lightning affinity on it, you'll be fine. These require 13 dex to wield, and I don't have that. You can get the Prosthesis Wearer's Heirloom for plus 5 dexterity, or better yet, you can get Millicent's Prosthesis, which gives you plus 5 dex and gives you attack power. So the more you hit the enemy, the more damage your attacks will do, basically. And then to complement that, you want either the Winged Sword Insignia, which you can get from Stillwater Cave in Liurnia, or you can get the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, which you get from Millicent's Quest. You can only get one or the other in a single playthrough. I suggest you get the Prosthesis on your first playthrough, and then you can get the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia in New Game Plus, and in the meantime you can use just the regular Wing Sword Insignia. It's not that huge of a difference. So we're going to use these two talismans, and we're going to get the Claw Talisman from Stormvale Castle. That enhances our jump attacks, which is what we're going to be doing for this. And then finally, you're going to want either the Raptor's Black Feathers or the Gravebird Black Quill Armor from the DLC. This one is slightly better in terms of stats than the Black Feathers, but they both provide the same jump attack damage buff, so it'll make your jump attacks do a bunch more damage. And then finally, in your Wondrous Physic, you're going to want the Lightning Shrouding Crack tier, and you can also use the Thorny Crack tier, which will also give you a successive attacks buff. And I also recommend you get something like the Golden Vow spell or Ash of War, and that way you can buff yourself with even more damage. And if you have it, you can use something like Howl of Shabiri or Flame Grant Me Strength. But yeah, so what you're going to do is use your buffs. So I did Golden Vow, drink the Wondrous Physic. We're going to get up close to this fucker, and we're going to do jump attacks at him. Oh, he kicked. So try not to get owned on the approach. What you want to do is you want to stay on his heels. You don't want to be in front of him. You want to be like slightly behind his feet. And you're just going to do jump attacks. And you see it just takes off enormous amounts of health with each jump attack. Because he's super weak to lightning, and we have a bunch of buffs, so they're buffing the shit out of lightning. So do like 2 or 3 jump attacks, and then wait for him to do a stomp. You can very easily dodge his stomps as his foot comes down. And so just keep attacking him. You'll keep getting the poise breaks on him. Wait for him to do a stomp. Jump it. Jump attack. He might do multiple stomps in a row, so keep an eye out for that. But they're pretty easy to avoid. Once you get the third poise break on him, he will fall over. I think he stays on the ground for like 30 seconds or something like that. So you have a lot of time to go around to the front and attack his face. Where the fuck is his face? Here it is. So you're going to want to take the crit, but you can do a few jump attacks and hit him. You see his face takes extra damage, so you can get a lot of damage in here by doing this. And then go for the riposte before he gets up. Does a fuckload of damage to him. I'm on New Game Plus 2, so you'll probably kill him with the first riposte if you're in just regular New Game. But if not, it's easy to just repeat the process. You could also use hefty fire pots, to throw them into his head while he's getting up after the riposte, but it's a pain in the ass to do, and I like to just use the fucking curved swords, If you keep up the pressure, he dies pretty quick. Now, when he does this attack, you got to get on torrent, run away, and then wait a second and jump. So you saw when he landed, there was an explosion where his feet were, which is why you have to get away from him. And then you gotta jump the fire wave afterwards. So keep that in mind. Oh, see there, he did multiple stomps in a row. I wasn't paying attention. That's why you gotta be careful. But quickly enough, he will die. And there you go. So that's how you kill the regular type of Furnace Golems easily. And there's a second type of Furnace Golem. So for the second type of Furnace Golem, you're going to need hefty fire pots or hefty furnace pots. Now, something that a lot of people get confused on here, you need to use the hefty pots. If you're using the regular fire pots or like the Giant's Flame pots or whatever, these aren't going to work. You need the big ones, the hefty fire pots. And so you can find up to 10 hefty cracked pots throughout the DLC. You can Google them to get locations for them. And then you can get the recipe for the hefty fire pots. I want to say it's up here on these stairs, on this corpse. I believe this is where it's at the Scorched Ruins, at the very start of the DLC. So that should be easy to get. And then, you're going to want at least like 5 or 6 of the hefty fire pots for these Furnace Golems, because they have a lot of health. And so what you're going to do is, before you fight the Golem, you want to craft your fire pots, or your hefty fire pots, excuse me. You can also use hefty furnace pots, but the fire pots work just fine. I don't use the furnace pots. Make sure you equip them. I'm not sure if damage buffs will buff the damage that you do to these guys or not, because the way they take damage is weird. It doesn't work like regular enemies. But you could use stuff like Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, Fire Scorpion Charm, stuff like that to boost the damage of your pots if you want. But I'm not going to worry about that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the local Furnace Golem. So some of the Furnace Golems have armored feet, and you won't be able to fight them like the other one that we just killed. So you see this guy's feet are all armored. If you hit him, it doesn't really do any damage. I think you can do damage to them if you hit them hard enough, but it'll be very little. But you saw there, I literally wasn't damaging him at all. So nearby these ones that have the armored feet, you'll find a cliff with a spirit spring. So you want to take the spirit spring to get on top of the cliff. And what you're going to do is wait for the Furnace Golem to approach you, which can take some time because their AI is fucking shitty. You want to wait for him to approach you, and you will throw hefty fire pots down into his head. So this is kind of, how long you're going to wait, as far as I can tell, is pretty much RNG based. Sometimes they'll walk over right away. Sometimes they take forever. Just give him a couple, little while. You can hide behind some cover to avoid the fireballs or something. Sounds like he's pretty close. So once he's pretty close to you, yeah, you can see his head. Once he's close to you, what you want to do is just get close to the cliff, and you're going to throw hefty fire pots into his head. That one missed. That one missed. Be careful, because sometimes they can jump and attack you like this. I think it's best if you stay on torrent, probably. You can throw them down into his head, and you see each pot will do like 50,000 damage and fuck him up. Just be careful of the fireballs, and be careful of his jumps. You see, while he's charging up his fireball attack... Oh, fuck! You see, while he's charging up an attack, you can hit him to cancel it. So keep that in mind. But yeah, so it'll take like 4 or 5 hefty fire pots to kill him. And yeah, so that's how you kill both types of Furnace Golem really easily. I hope you find this helpful. My name is DIABETOR, and I will catch you... Wait, that was the wrong button. Later.